We'll put up with those slips.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Thanks. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, babe. I've been waiting all week to talk to you. What have you been up to? How's everything at the villa? Oh, well, I've been having so much fun, but the scariest thing happened to me to... Hello? Hello? This is one of the many difficult situations that you'll deal with when you're in a long-term relationship. But there's also many other difficulties that you'll have to cope with, and learning how to best do that can actually help you improve your other relationships by having mastered those lessons. It was well into spring semester last year when we had fallen in love. I was a junior and she was a freshman, and we never even knew each other existed up to that point somehow. I don't know how, but I had never seen her. But we first met at a mixer with her sorority and my fraternity. And from that point, we just hit it off, and we saw each other almost every day. We would always hang out, and it was so natural. It was like we were friends from high school, and we just enjoyed each other's company. But then at the end of the semester, at the end of spring semester, we encountered one of the biggest hurdles of our relationship so far. We really just had to face the reality that she was going overseas to Switzerland for the summer. And while we knew it would only be 2 months, it's still tough having to leave your significant other and be apart when you had just gotten to know each other for a short amount of time. And we knew that we would see each other at the end of summer for a little while as well, but what made things even worse was that I knew she was going to Florence her entire sophomore year, the following year. And so it was just a very confusing, uncertain time, but we knew a couple things. We knew that we wanted to be together, and we knew that we had to stick to the plans that we had made before meeting each other and starting to date, because that's what was best for each of us. And it's almost been a year now. We're still together and very much in love still, but that's not to say that we haven't struggled at times. And I want to share with you guys 3 things that I've learned to manage a successful long-distance relationship. The first thing is that in a long-distance relationship, or any relationship for that matter, at the root of everything, you have to be able to see a future together. Your reasons for being in that relationship and your life goals have to be similar. They have to be in line. In other words, you just have to think long-term. Really, when you think about it, 3 months, 6 months, even a year is not really a big deal in the whole spectrum of your life. And so you kind of rise to a higher level of maturity, and you just cope with it, and you go on with your life. What I always did was I asked myself, why am I in this relationship? If your answer that you give yourself is not really a serious one, then I hate to break it to you, but it's probably not going to work out. If you're just kind of in it to test out the waters, get experience, or just have fun for a while, and then it's just not going to work. No matter how long-term you think, though, you have to have trust in a relationship. In my experience, trust is essential to having a long and successful, happy relationship. From the time you meet, you have to test the waters. You have to be very observative of the other person. You just watch, how do they treat their friends? How do they treat their family? Do they stick to the commitments and the promises that they make? Another thing is to just put the other person first. When you trust them, you know that you're putting the other person first, and that you'll always do what's best for them. And in the end, building trust just takes time. It's normal to not fully trust someone until they've proven time and time again that they won't let you down. That's just the way human nature is. Now, you've heard the expression in business, location, location, location. Well, I would argue that the most important thing is communication, communication, communication. What that means is that most people think that good communication is easy. It's something that just happens when you like somebody. But really they neglect it and they just push it to the wayside. But good communication means that you have to make sacrifices. Sometimes if you just want to go out with your friends at night and have a good time, you have to skip those opportunities in order to make time for your significant other and to adjust to the time differences, which you'll inevitably have being long distance. If you're also resourceful, just being creative. You can always find ways to communicate in just little ways here and there. Whether that's a short text message, a full-blown Skype conversation, a quick Facebook wall post, or a simple postcard, just to say that you're thinking about the other person. It actually means a lot, and it may save your relationship. When you're actually having a conversation with the person, I would recommend that you ask a lot of questions. You are always open and honest with the other person. Don't expect the other person to explain everything that's going on or tell you what they're feeling or their emotions are. You have to ask, and just remember that the other person doesn't really know what's going on in your life from a day-to-day basis because you're not with them. Now, I just want you guys to take away from this that there are 3 things that you can do to have a successful relationship, whether it's long distance, whether it's with your coworkers at work, whether it's with your family or your friends at school, and that's to think in a long-term perspective, to have trust, to build trust, and to have good communication. Even with all the communication options that we have, it's hard to resist making a little quick call, sending a short text message, but because of these potential pitfalls, please don't hold me liable for a situation that may arise that goes something like this. Chris, another $300 phone bill? What is this?